a homeschool planner to help you stay organized with home management, as well as keep an easy, sustainable homeschool schedule. In this video, I'm going to go through with you my must-haves to keep organized at home by showing you my life planner and teacher planner in detail, and as well as at the end, I'm going to give you my top 3 tips to help you stay on track. I'm Liz, and you're watching Teaching Kids with Liz. I have 20 years experience working with children and family. I've worked in schools, daycares, before and after school programs, private and publicly funded organizations. I've worked alongside with psychologists, occupational therapists, speech and language pathologists, teachers, principals, and ECEs. I even ran my own private applied behavioral analysis company providing at-home ABA services for children on the autism spectrum. Unfortunately, life had different plans for me and I became very ill with my first child. I'm all better now and I've been homeschooling my children for 7 years. And I've created this channel to teach others how teaching a child is easy when you have the right tools and strategies. If you'd like more tips and tricks on how to teach kids, or homeschooling advice, homeschool curriculum reviews, or home management strategies while being at home with your child or even being at work, consider subscribing to my channel. You can click on the bottom, right on the bottom right hand side of the screen at any time throughout this video, and it will link you directly to my subscribe page. Alright, so before we get started, don't forget to stick around until the end where I give you my top 3 tips to help you stay on track. I'm going to start off by showing you both of my organizational planners and how I am organized and how you can use easy and simple to use steps to help save you time and stress. Also, leave a comment down below of what are your tips and tricks for helping stay organized, or are you just not organized at all? If you have any tips and tricks, I would love to hear them because I'm always looking for new ways to streamline my process to help save me time, money, and lots of stress. So leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, so let's get started. Homeschool planning is very different for each family. We all have different goals, we all have different needs. Some families are more organized than others. Whatever the case may be, you need to make sure that you have a goal and a plan in place to help you stay on track and also to help you see all the progress that you've done. So that's very, very important, is developing a goal and plan and putting that in place. This life planner that I'm about to show you has changed my life. It has helped me develop a goal and help me keep track of every week and every day how I'm working towards my goal. So let's go ahead and I'm going to show you both my planners. So here are the planners that I use to help me stay organized in my life. This is the Clever Fox Planner Pro, which I bought off Amazon. And this one is a lesson planner, which I also bought off Amazon. You can find links to both of these in the description. This one specifically I use just for homeschooling planning, and this one I use for family goals and work goals. And I found that having 2 planners, I know it sounds like a lot. I've never used 2 planners before, but now that I've able to sort of separate and compartmentalize my life a little bit, it's made it so much simpler because it's made me feel like I'm not just all homeschooling all the time, that I have another life as well to pay attention to and that I can get to grow. So this one is just for homeschooling and this one is for my life goals. So let's go through each one of these and I'm going to show you how useful they are and how I use them to help me stay on track and how you can take these steps to help you stay on track as well. So I'm going to start off with my favorite planner. This is the Clever Fox Planner, and it has changed my life. It's a life planner. If you don't know what a life planner is, please go and look it up and take a look. It literally is helping me plan my life for the next year. So in this book, lots and lots of pages. I've written in a lot of it. I've been using it for about 3 months, and as you can see, I have used it quite a bit, but there's still lots to go. I mean, I've only used 3 months out of it. So I'm going to show you some blank pages. So every month, so let's pick the month of January, which you see I have not filled in, but I've just put the sticker on. So the month of January, you have your month's goals, which you can write down. You have things I will do to make this month great, skills and habits to learn, distractions to avoid, places to go, people to see, and one thing I always wanted to do. I love starting with this at the beginning of each month. It just it's like a breath of fresh air, just revitalizing my goals, re-looking at and reassessing what do I really want this month to do. Makes me feel very organized, and you can always go back and review to see if you've met those goals. Which leads me to the next part. So every month there's a monthly review. You go through what your biggest wins are, what's your biggest lessons, and life areas are you lacking. This has been really great. I think this is just a type of craft to be able to fill in, you know, all these different sections. So there's business and career, health and fitness, family and friends, romance, personal development, finance, recreation, and spiritual. And you rate them after you're done your month from 1 to 10, and you color it in to see, you know, which areas are you lacking in, or which ones are you not lacking in. What tasks are accomplished and why? How do I feel about my progress this month? On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel overall about the past month, and how will I improve next month? This page has been a huge game changer to help me sort of organize what my goals are, what do I want to do, and how was that past month, and what other types of goals should I work for the next month? What goals from this month did I not accomplish that I can use next month? Also, every 3 months, it has a 3-month goal review. So you have goal number 1, why do I want it? Reward if achieved. Goal number 2, same thing, why do I want it? Reward if achieved. Goal number 3, why do I want it? Reward if achieved. And your mind map. So this is where I used to doodle just to get an ideas of what the next 3 months are going to look like, sort of manifest and create an image of what I want for my life. This has helped me sort of streamline exactly why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, help me not feel so lost and just doing everything, you know, every time it comes up. And this has just helped me focus a little bit more of what my goals are throughout my life and how I'm going to achieve them. This has been really great. It's only every 3 months that this comes up, but every month, this one, the monthly review does come up, which I love it. I take it the last day of the month before I start the new calendar, and it just gives me time to sit down and just think about myself and review where my progress is, and just be kind to myself and figure out ways to improve. So this is the first section of the binder. It goes through those months and has the monthly reviews, and it keeps going like that until you reach the second section. So the second section is the month and year. So this is my weekly plan. So you have Monday to Sunday here. You have your today's goals for that day, and then you have 3 priorities. This has been a game changer for me. Instead of having multiple goals throughout the day, I only pick 3 main priorities. Usually they're homeschooling, cleaning, and editing my videos. And then each day I pick one of the major goals that I need to have completed that day. So as long as today's goal is completed, I am very happy. And the other priorities, it's just to help me stay on track of what I'm doing. Then we have this week's main goal. I love having the main goal for the week because it sort of just kind of gives me my intention for the week and what I'm working on. This week's priorities, work to-do list, personal to-do list, habit skills. This is also another one of my favorite sections. This is where I put in my habits that I'm wanting to build. I usually do my workout. Do I drink enough water? Have I yelled that day? So one of my goals that I'm working on is to not yell. So that would be one of my goals that I write on here, or to drink lots of water. If I've homeschooled, if I've exercised. So this is just the goals that I'm working on, and it just helps me, my daily goals, something that I do every single day. This has been very helpful for me and my mental health and feeling productive. I really love this section. Life balance to-do list. So it breaks it down into sections: health and fitness, family and friends, romance, relationships, fun and recreation, personal development, spiritual. What I'm excited about, top 3 things what you're excited about that week, and this week's wins, lessons learned, and how I'll improve next week. So when I'm done for the week, I go through this section before I switch over to the following week. And again, just like the month, it just helps me review the week and what I've learned and what I'm going to do different next week, just to keep me sort of moving forward instead of stagnant and not doing very much. So a third section that this book has, it's just a note section where I write my notes, my major accomplishments, and it just looks like this. It's just a dotted piece of paper you can draw. As you can see here, I've used it quite a bit. I love to draw on it. I love to write all my mindset classes, my motivation stuff, what I'm working on, what I want to remind myself, like, this is my life planner. This is everything I want to keep for my life. I have my meal plans in here as well. It's a really, and it has lots and lots of pages. Oh, and it also has this little pocket in here. I don't have anything in here, but I do plan to use it. So that's that section. So now I want to show you how I set up for the week and how I use this for next week. So I'm just going to do a really quick time lapse of how I prep for that week, and hopefully you enjoy it. Okay, so let me show you that. So there you have it. I've set up my days for the week. I've planned out my week's goal, which is homeschool every day, because some weeks I don't homeschool every day. My reward, if achieved, I'm gonna buy myself a new book or my kids a new book. I know, I'm a nerd, I love buying books. This week's priorities is homeschool and prep for Christmas. My work to-do list, it will get longer as my week goes on, but for now, I'm just gonna be editing my videos. My personal to-do list is I plan 1 day of rest. I've been working really hard the past little while, so this is really important for my to-do list. I need to rest or I'm gonna burn out. And these are the habits that I'm working on for that week. So working out, homeschooling, yelling. I mean, I'm not working on yelling, I'm working on not yelling. Meal planning, videos, editing my videos, and meditate. I'm giving myself a goal of 3 times this week. I've tried this goal before and I do not succeed at it. So I'm gonna give myself 3 days this week to do it to consider my goal achieved. So it looks super empty right now, and this is just how I started off for the week before my week even starts. But I'm gonna show you how my other week. So this is actually the week that I'm on. This is next week. So today is actually a Sunday. I'm starting this for next week. So this is this past week. I haven't done my this week's wins, lesson learns, how I'll improve next week, but basically this is more or less what it looks like. Some weeks are busier than others. Some weeks I filled out more than others. For example, like this one was a no good week. I mean, you can even see on my goals was to be happy, and I took those days off. I didn't write, I didn't do anything, and that's okay. Because I still feel like I did work here and I still met those goals. So you can see as the weeks have gone on, they all look really different, and what my plans are for that week, and they just sort of help me stay organized and plan as to, you know, what do I want to do, what are my goals, and to help me stay on track. So this is probably my favorite one. So this week here, this is a great example of how I've used this. So this week was my son's birthday. So party on Friday. As you can see, my week's main goal was give Gabriel an amazing birthday, and reward if achieved was a happy child. So it doesn't always have to be a book or an object that you get. It could just be the feeling of having a happy child. My week's priorities were Gabriel's birthday and cattails. It was a project I was working on. And each week you can see I've done the goals, and each week it helped me sort of organize and get ready for Gabriel's birthday, which was on the Friday. And you can see I felt really good about this. I had a lot of wins. My mindset classes, Gabriel's party, and I did lots of walking. That was part of my goals, to do lots of walking. I did some lessons learned, which is having control over my emotions gives me power, time management needs some more work, and meal planned. These are all things that I have been working on. And how I'll improve next week, just sort of looking at, you know, what do I plan to do better than that I didn't do this week. So meal plan, be intentional, manage my time better, and go to sleep earlier. I'm still working out on that one. My favorite section that I want to show you is this one here. So drink water hourly. That was one of my goals that I had. Work out, mile walk. You can see I nailed that week. Homeschool, I only did 4 days of homeschooling that this week, and then I did Gabriel's birthday party was on the Friday, and the next few days was cleanup and just really just party,
because it was a lot of fun. Meditate, as you can see, I mentioned earlier, I only meditated one day that week, so this is a goal that I'm working on. My mindset classes I did every day, my meal planning was okay, and my no yelling I succeeded other than the one day. So these are the goals that I've been working on. I include like groceries, clean groceries, prep for tomorrow, anything that goes in here that will help you stay organized. This book has been a life changer for me. It is really awesome. It is really great. I've never seen one that's done this way before, that breaks everything up into such specific tasks. And even at the beginning when I started, and get ready, I might share some personal stuff with you here. So I'll show you that beginning part. This one's not so pretty. This one's a little prettier. So this is my monthly review. So this is, Gabriel's birthday. That was my biggest win, starting homeschooling again for the month, and my workout plan. Those are the biggest wins for the month of September. And then I wrote my biggest lessons learned, and then I sort of, put some values just so I can see where I was on all my goals, and you compare it to the following month. I mean, I did a whole lot more work on that one, which is great. I really love seeing this. And every month I get to see back to back what my changes are and what my goals are. So Life Planner for the win has changed my life. So now I'm going to show you my homeschool planner. So here is my homeschool planner, lesson planner. I've just took a lesson planner that normally teachers use. It has lots of stickers. It is super simple. I mean, all it is this. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it breaks it up into different sections, and that's all it is. Every week, I used to use a calendar like the life planner that I showed you, but I didn't have enough space to go through the different subjects. So this one, I actually am able to split it up, and I'm going to show you right now how I do that in a time lapse. So that's basically my setup. So I've broken down this section into, we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't usually teach on Friday. I usually teach Saturday and Sunday. So I've just crossed this day off and done Saturday, Sunday for these 2 days. We usually do a lot of family and games these 3 days. So I don't need too much space. So this works out for me. And I've split it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections. So we have section at the top, which is my main lesson section, which I teach both my kids at the same time, the main lesson for the day. And then I have my son's section, Gabriel. So usually in here goes through what I'm working with him at the time. So it's math and writing. And here is Alex, my daughter. Usually in here I also put her math stuff just so I can keep track of where she is in her math, what page she left on, what exercise, what are we working on. Science, I usually do science with both the kids at the same time. So usually here I'll write an experiment that we have going on or ideas to do for the next time. I have our geography section, which right now we're doing a big project on geography, going through all the flags of the world, learning about music. So this section is usually filled out every day of the countries that we've been working on. And this section down here, I've made it a to-do section. So any ideas that come out while I'm homeschooling, I write them in here, or things that the kids want to do, I write them in here. So this is just the setup of basically what it looks like. So I'm going to give you an example of a filled out section that I've already filled out. So here's an example of how I've used this lesson planner. So for the week of October 5th to 11th, it was our Thanksgiving weekend. I put on here on the side what really my goal was and what I wanted to do for that week. So I wanted to have a Thanksgiving craft, how to draw a turkey. It's something I picked with the kids. And you can see up here, I wrote in the lessons that we did. So the 3 states of matter we did on Monday. We did more 3 states of matter, and we played a game of 20 questions about the states of matter. and we did some more science lesson and geography lessons here. In here I wrote down what math they had completed. So I don't use these sections to plan what I'm going to do next, because I find the more I plan ahead of time, it actually doesn't end up working for me and I end up wasting time. So instead of using this to plan ahead, I write in here what we have done so far. So these are all things that have already been completed on the day of. So I complete as I go. I don't fill it up like you saw. I leave it mostly blank and then I fill up as I go. Geography section here, it shows all the different places that we have done research. So we did research on Canada, USA, Mexico, Greenland, El Salvador, Belize, Guatemala. We did Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, and I also write in here things like planning for later. Also for science here, so even though I did a lesson up here about science, I still write down here of what lessons did we actually work on, because sometimes I might leave it for a couple days and I need to come back and review which ones did we leave it off at. And down here is just our to-do list. So review science lessons was one of them, and print flags. So this just helps me stay organized. This was an idea here, winter booklets that we were gonna do as well, which we've done. So I really use this just to help me stay on track and to keep track of what we have done, and as well keep track of my ideas of what we're gonna do next. At the beginning of this book, it also has a regular calendar setup that is already filled in for you. As you can see, I don't use it very much. I've never really found these to be of much use. I use my phone, so I've left this part mostly blank. I have filled it in, but just I don't use it very much at all, as you can see. The parts that I do use are these ones here. Filled up. Sometimes I color them in, sometimes I don't, but I like to make it fun and set it up for the week. So I like to set it up like I set this one up. So usually that's how I like it to go, and then on Monday I will come and write our lessons for the morning that we did, and go on. And that's it from this planner.
Like I promised, here are my top 3 tips to help you stay on track. Tip number 1, get a planner that suits you. There are many different planners that are for many different types of people. That are planners that are completely filled in. There's planners that are not, and you have to fill them in yourself. Find a planner that works best for you. I started off using the planners that were all kind of filled in, but they didn't work for me. Actually, they left me with this feeling that I wasn't doing enough. And when I didn't fill it in, it actually caused me more stress. So then I just stopped using them altogether. So I don't like the filled in ones, because on days that I don't do anything, I can't just fill in a different day in there. And leaving it blank just actually causes me anxiety. I've started a planner where I can fill it in myself, and it has really, really helped me stay on track and feel good about using my planner. And I've actually been using it every single day, and the days that I find that I don't use it, I'm a little lost in what my goals are. So using a personalized, customizable planner for me has worked. If you're looking at your planner and you don't even want to touch it, that planner's not working for you. So go find a planner that really, really works for you. Make it really colorful, make it fun, but make it something that you enjoy going to, because if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to stay organized. So to help you stay on track, find a planner that works for you and make it really pretty, something you want to go to, you want to use that tool. Tip number 2, to help you stay on track when homeschooling, you need to be flexible. So there are some days that my children have had a really rough night's sleep, and working at the table is absolutely atrocious. It's not fun. And I've learned that the more I try and stick to this schedule that I've pre-planned, the less it actually works for me. So the more I've applied being flexible and being aware of what my kids are like that day and what I'm feeling like that day has sort of made learning a whole lot more fun. So be flexible with your schedule. I also used to find when I used to make plans like way ahead of time and fill that into my planner, that I spend most of my time actually going back and whiting it out or crossing it out, and it would just take so much space. So it's not that I don't plan ahead, it's I don't write it in my planner. What I use my planners for is I write things that, you know, are must-haves for me to do that day, And then for my kids, for the teacher planner, like I've mentioned, I write all the things that we have worked on and ideas for the future, not a week's worth of plans ahead of time, because I just find that's it's a really big waste of time for me. Tip number 3, stay ahead of your child's learning. You just need to stay one step ahead. So for example, my daughter, she's been working on her reading, and we've kind of put math on pause. But before we introduce her back into math, I've gone ahead and seen what are her next couple of lessons to sort of help guide her along. So I'm not several years down the line and planning what she's going to be learning. I'm only a couple steps ahead of her. That makes it easy for me in terms of planning. That makes it easy for her because I sort of know what to expect next, and I can sort of build those skills onto the next one. So many people get really overwhelmed with the amount of homeschool information and stuff that you have to teach. But if you take it step by step, one at a time, and just stay one step ahead of your child, you will find that it's much more enjoyable. It's less stress, less things to worry about, and you're happier, and therefore your child is happy. So those are my top 3 tips. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want more tips and tricks on how to teach kids, on homeschool curriculum reviews, homeschool advice, home management strategies, please consider subscribing to my channel. Also leave a comment down below of any questions that you may have. I will answer them as soon as I can. I hope you've gotten lots of value out of this video, and I'll see you in the next one.